So I'm going to walk the Central Line loop, this here. It's very straightforward up to Hainault, Grange Hill, then this bit here is a bit tricky. The Hitchcock mosaics and the underpass at Leytonstone station. This is Leytonstone's tribute to its famous son, Alfred Hitchcock. Cary Grant. So Leytonstone is where the Central Line splits into two halves, so it's the perfect place to start this walk. Leytonstone High Road, one of the old approach roads into the city from the forest. Green Man Pub, a historic coaching inn. Now it's called O'Neill's, but everyone still calls it the Green Man. It's been there for a very long time. I'm not sure the exact date. I think it's 17th century, the original inn. And there's rumoured to be a tunnel that leads from the Green Man pub into the forest that the legendary highwayman Dick Turpin used to use to escape. Just about every pub on the edge of London has a story attached to Dick Turpin. And they're very possibly all true. He did get around. I have this thing when I set myself like what I would call a constrained walk, you know, where you've got to walk along a preset route, that I almost instantly want to abandon it and head off. When I got up to the Green Man roundabout, so I thought, right, that's it. I'm gonna just go through the forest instead, but I am gonna stick to this today. George Green, Wanstead. 20 odd years ago, the heart of the independent state of Wanstonia. Those were the days, eh? Wanstead Station. There are a number of real architectural gems on this walk, and that's one of the reasons why I chose to do it, actually, because I think it's got a very distinct character from the rest of the Central Line. The other bit of the Central Line is a bit more, to put it bluntly, a bit posher when you go sort of south Woodford to Woodford. There's actually only 2 stops. Now this branch is a lot more kind of characterised by post-war architecture and sort of modernist architecture, and here is the first example of that at Wanstead. And in contrast to the Hitchcock mosaics, we have these more homespun murals at Wanstead. Make art, not war. I mean, who could disagree with that sentiment? Well, Tony Blair, but I mean, you know, apart from Tony Blair. Stella Creasy, MP for Walthamstow. She quite likes a war. I mean, apart from Stella Creasy and Tony Blair, difficult to think who else would argue with that. Donald Brum, okay. So to do this journey on the Central Line would take 26 minutes. Let's see how long it takes me to walk. Fantastic views from this footbridge looking across the Roding Valley. And the walk kind of skirts the edge of the Roding Valley and then comes back across, I think, when I turn from Chigwell to Woodford. This is certainly not going to be a bucolic walk. I'm going to have this traffic company quite a lot of the way. From here I've got to walk along the Eastern Avenue as far as Newbury Park before I can turn away from this absolute Autogeddon. The beguiling River Roding. I must finish walking all the length of this one day. If you care anything about your life, you have to kind of follow this system of paths here that lead you around Redbridge roundabout to the station on the far side there. Redbridge station, work of the great tube architect Charles Holden. You can see the two distinct skies. To the left there you've got the grey skies laden with rain. To the right you've got clear blue skies with white fluffy clouds, which will be the sky that will follow me on this walk. Look at that brick monolith just sat there between the houses. That could be a time machine for all we know. It could be like a portal to other worlds. Raining. Why is it always raining? You can hear the rain coming down now. I think there's a bit of hail mixed in with that as well. So this is the Gants Hill roundabout. You've seen this on videos I've made before. So this is another Charles Holden classic, but beneath the ground. And Holden did a lot of the stations on the other end of the Central Line, and there's a real character to these Central Line areas around the stations. At the ends of the Central Line. This is very similar, I think, to like Hanger Lane Gyratory, and the parades of shops have a similarity as well. So it's along the Eastern Avenue still, the A12 to Newbury Park, and then after that I think it can get a little bit more bucolic. I think there's a bit of parkland there. I think I can cross there to Barkingside in the ever-present rain. And there's an image for you that says a lot about the nature of this area. McDonald's, the petrol station, and the Holiday Inn Express. Something about these arterial roads at the edge of London which makes me think of like American freeways. You can see it here, can't you? This is Ilford War Memorial Garden at Newbury Park. It's a really beautiful garden, even in disgusting weather such as today. It's a really peaceful spot just off the Eastern Avenue. It's a very poignant memorial, I feel, and it was planned in 1920 was when they purchased the land to build it. This is the War Memorial Hall, opened in 1927, and the plaque tells us that Ilford lost 1,159 men during the war. And Newbury Park Station is another of the architectural gems of the Central Line loop. Another real modernist wonder buried out here in the eastern suburbs. Fantastic rainbow breaking out here over Newbury Park. Let's hope it's a good omen for the walk ahead. So this is the first time since I've left home in Leytonstone that I've been able to get away from the main road. Just on the other side of Newbury Park, you can see, look at how dark that sky is. But I'm walking towards the blue sky and I'm walking towards the rainbow. Barkingside station is over there somewhere on the far side of that field. I've got to go around it. This is Aldborough Hatch Farm. What a real treat to have a farm on this Central Line loop walk. A little slice of the countryside before I hit Barkingside and Hainault. Only about 10 minutes ago I was just wondering how much more of the rain I could take and how much further I could walk in the driving rain and the hail. And now look at it. It's beautiful. So, and I'm walking towards the clear blue sky ahead. See, you are rewarded when you persevere through the difficulties. It's quite a grand old farmhouse, isn't it? Out here in East London. So I've made the decision now, at the edge of Fairlop Waters Park and Golf Course, that I am going to follow the railway line around the edge of the golf course, on the edge of this park. I'm not going to check in at Barkingside station. I've done so much walking along main roads today. I deserve a little bit of a break from it. And also I'm justifying it because this route does stick closer to the railway line. That's what I'm telling myself. So here you can see the central line. And I'm going to follow it along the edge of the golf course here up to Fairlop station. Bluebells in the wood beside the railway tracks. So that's Fairlop station there at that bridge. Fairly nondescript architecturally. I'm not going to go up to the station because the next station, Hainault, is over the other side of that field somewhere. So I'm going to find a footpath up here and then go up to Hainault. I should hope to reach Grange Hill just after sunset, and the rest of it I'll have to do in the dark. So Hainault station is similar to Fairlop in that it's just like basically under the bridge there. I've been out here before and did a great walk across Hainault Country Park. So now I'm going to push on to Grange Hill, and I have to go through this kind of maze of suburban streets to get there. This sort of pebble dash suburbia, these really are kind of classic Sunday streets for me. I associate these kind of houses and these kind of quiet suburban streets with Sundays. Every day is like Sunday in places like this. Woodman path, echoes of old countryside, and the ice cream van playing zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. That's what these streets are about. So there's Grange Hill station, and I'm going to use the last bit of light to follow this footpath here, which will get me close to Chigwell, not all the way, but get me close there. I'm a bit tired now, I'll be honest. I'm walking, what is it now? It's just after 7:30, so I've been walking for 4 hours and I haven't stopped. But it's great to partially have a country walk, which is a fantastic thing to have when you're getting a bit tired and your knees are starting to get sore, as mine do, around the 10-mile mark. So this is a real treat to find myself on the edge of a field. Sunset over the hills. Memories of childhood walks with my dad. So this is great. This is a bridge over the railway line leading up to, I don't even know where I am anymore, Chigwell, I think. That's right. I think this area between Grange Hill and Chigwell and one other place, Leytonstone, I think is called the Essex Golden Triangle because of all the bling, the Essex bling. This is where it sort of originates from, I believe. Very much associated with the sitcom, the 80s sitcom Birds of a Feather. Amazing view looking west from the high ground here at Chigwell. That's incredible. Looking right across London. Now Roding Valley Station is over there somewhere, and I don't have a clue how to get there from here. That's Chigwell Station down there, and I'm not sure how much further I'm going to go actually, because there's very little point in the dark. I can see that there are magnificent views from up here and I just can't see them. It's just a grey and black smudge. So I'm going to call it quits here at Chigwell station. It's a little bit frustrating because there's only one more stop to get to, over to Roding Valley, which is just on the Central Line loop here. But I've got no idea how to get there. It's somewhere over there. But to walk there, I don't know how you'd get there actually, without taking a ridiculously long detour all the way around by road. And to go there, of course, I can't find any footpaths on the OS map, and I don't really fancy trying to find my way across farmland in the pitch black, stumbling through hedges. So I'm back at Chigwell station. I couldn't leave it. I'm going to pick up from here and finish the walk. From here, Roding Valley onto Woodford, closing the Central Line loop. I think I've worked out a route. It may involve walking through the River Roding, but hey, it's worth it. I walked up from Hainault just now. I got the Central Line to Hainault and walked up to Chigwell. And coming over that hill from Grange Hill into Chigwell, you really see that Essex golden triangle, that kind of classic kind of Essex bling. I didn't film any of it because I'm not sure I want to inflict that on people. It's beyond the cliche, you know. Most of the properties around here in Chigwell have this little sign, either attached to the gate or the fence or something. Triangle Security, private security company. And I think one of their vans was back there as well, in the driveway of a house near where I was stood. Well, I'm hoping this is the route through to Roding Valley station, sort of. And this is another one of the reasons I returned here during the day to do this section, is look at that sky. Look at that view across the Roding Valley. And the station's nestled in on the far side there. So it would have been a real shame to miss out on this view in the dark. There's a rabbit in that field. The experience of walking out of London is of having to cross a series of arterial roads and motorways. You walk from Leytonstone, it's the North Circular, then it's the M11, then it's the M25. And actually it's very similar when you go west as well. You have to cross the North Circular, then you have to cross the M25. And London is sort of encased in these roads, in this kind of halo of pollution that we live within. I wonder what they're building here. Another trope of these kind of edgeland spaces around London. You've got environmental services here. What's this, sort of like waste disposal? And you've got Thames Water down that lane there next to the house. Water utilities, so sort of public utilities. Wastage. Sort of cluster around the arterial roads and the river valleys. Wonderful. I've passed this way on my first river roding walk that I filmed and stood on this very bridge here. So it's really lovely to be back at this spot again. I do love this river. And the train goes over that viaduct there. One of the finer pieces of graffiti along the River Roding. I feel obliged to capture this spot because it's been in both my other river roding films that I made. It's where one walk ended and another began. And now it's near the end of a walk. Now it's just across this rugby field to Roding Valley Station, which is just the other side of those houses over there. This really must be one of less likely approaches to Tube Station in London, I would say, but Roding Valley Station is just up here, or one entrance to Roding Valley Station I should say, is up this little quiet street. Here's a peculiarity. This is actually a gun shop, so you can buy shotguns, airsoft, that kind of thing. You can buy hunting rifles here, I believe. So this is the last station, which is solely on the Central Line loop. Technically you could say it's the end of the walk, but I'm going to carry on to Woodford station, because Woodford is the bridge between the loop and the rest of the Central Line. So I'm going to walk on to Woodford, which is just a straight walk down this road here actually. So this is the last of the peculiarities, I would say, of the Central Line loop. That has its own particular character and eccentricities, its own topography, its own landscape. It's been a really quite a remarkable walk. Hope you've enjoyed it. I have. But anyway, we're going to go on to Woodford. Madeira Grove. That's a beguiling name, and it also leads to Woodford Station. Just around here. Woodford Station, which is definitely the last stop that can be considered to be on the Central Line loop, and from here you cross over onto the regular Central Line, so that's the end of that walk. And what a good one it was. A real walk of two halves, I feel. So I'm going to do this now, just for my own personal satisfaction, to get home.